Asia. You're in Asia.
I'm in Asia right now?
Yeah.
I am in Asia. What's up, Asian fans? What kind of questions you guys got for me today? Nothing's popping up. I don't think they like me.
Just talk about maybe the week you've arrived here.
So I literally got here today, about a few hours ago. Flew in from South Carolina. We are in New York City right now. Got some media stuff going on. As you can hear, I don't know if you can hear the sirens. Man, New York City's loud, but I love it. Spent a lot of time here, actually. Most of my time on Long Island with Chris Wyman, but I like to think that I'm, this is home away from home for me. So right now it's actually pretty relaxed. Tomorrow gets pretty crazy. We have the media scrums at Madison Square Garden. We got some people. We got some people. Yee! What's up, Mark, Ernest, Big John? Big John. See, what is the longest you have gone without sleep? Actually, I've never had that. Somebody asked me that question before. I have no idea. I would say all day, all night. We have like a New Year's Eve sleepover every year at our gym, at our school. And I will literally stay up all night. I will not go to sleep at all. So that's it. Nothing too crazy. Could I survive in the wilderness for a month? Man, I was watching some that stuff on the Discovery Channel, and those guys stay out there. I don't know, man. I'm not one of those guys. I love to be outdoors. I love to go hiking and stuff, but I'm not that knowledgeable. I could probably survive a few days fishing or, tackling a deer with my bare hands, things like that. Just kidding. I could never do that. I had a buddy of mine. There was a car in front of him. He's a hunter. There was a car in front of him hit a deer, and the deer was out on the side of the road, and it wasn't dead yet. So he decides to pull over and get out and try and choke the deer out. And then he stopped. I was like, well, why'd you stop? Did you choke? He was like, nah. It's like people were pulling over to see what I was doing, so I had to bolt. It was weird. Anyway, I'm talking about you, Joseph Corneroli. Let's see. Thanks a lot, Alexander. To be honest with you, I don't even play the game. Do y'all even think it looks like me in the video game? I think I look like Jake Ellenberger, like the close-up look. I look like somebody completely different. Belton, South Carolina, you know it. Travis Todd. Those South Carolina names got those two first names, Travis Todd. Travis Todd. He's got two first names. I love it. Do you feel there is extra pressure to provide an exciting fight? I think so. I mean, I want to go out there and put on a show with somebody like Jorge Masvidal, who comes forward. He's an aggressive fighter. They call him game bred for a reason. He's always out there to get. He's always game. So I think there will be. I think this is going to be an awesome fight. A lot of people are talking about this fight more than some of the title shots. So that really fuels me to train as hard as I can for this fight, to be ready for it, and to put on a show. Think you would do better at 185. I wish, I train with Chris Weidman, and he's a big, he's I wouldn't consider him a big 185er, but he walks around pretty heavy, and he's really, really strong. I don't know, man. When he grabs me by my wrist, I feel like a little kid, like I can't get away. And those guys are pretty strong. Robert Whitaker's doing great in that division, but he was a big 170. Like, he's got a big barrel chest. I fought him. He was just a big guy, and he struggled to get down to 170. Let's see. Say hi to the crew. Let's see what else we got. What else we got here, peeps?
People being dumb?
Nah, man. You just kind of stop for a second. I got Joanna, man. I mean, Rose is a beast. She's actually a great person. I think it's a tough fight for Joanna, but because Rose is very well rounded, but Joanna's takedown defense is ridiculous. Her striking is I would want to step out there and fight against Joanna, to be honest with you. I wouldn't want to get hit by her. Of course, I listen to Tenacious D, Joseph. Tenacious D, I'm a huge fan of them. Jack Black, all of his movies. I walk out to Wonder Boy by Tenacious D. Can you hear that on TV as I'm walking out? Can you hear
on pay-per-views?
On pay-per-views? Okay.
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
Let's see what we got going here.
You'll hear this weekend.
We got a bunch of people. Okay, let's see.
Yeah, 2,000.
Oh, man. What inspires me to keep fighting? Man, I actually fight for the fun of it. I like it. I think, I've been competing for a very long time since I was 15 years old. My dad fought back in the 70s and 80s. My sister fought before me. Pretty much everybody in my family has fought besides my mom. But I don't know, man. I think I'm just a very competitive person. I like to go out there and perform for you guys, especially the fans. I don't have to fight to make a living. We run a gym back in South Carolina, and which we're doing pretty well. I love teaching classes, but I like competing. I think that's just the competitiveness in me. I think Darren Till's a tough opponent, man. He's an up-and-comer, young guy. Tough. I mean, you saw what he did to Donald Cerrone, man. The guy's a beast. He's got great striking. So I think he's anybody in that top 10 division is I got to watch out for, because I could be facing one of them here pretty soon. Who's my favorite fighter? Let's see. That's a hard one. I got so many, man. What kind of drew me to the UFC and competing in MMA was Lyoto Machida. Watching him with a karate base when people in the earlier UFCs were like, hey, karate's crap. Karate fighters can't make it in this sport. But when I first saw him doing work and knocking dudes out, I was like, man, I'm going to make that switch from kickboxing to MMA. And obviously I was training with George St. Pierre, which I'm fighting on the same card as him this Saturday, which was a huge inspiration to me. I would go up there to Montreal, and he would ask me to help out with his camps. And he was my true inspiration to switch to MMA, was George. But Lyoto Machida had a big push as well. All right, got a couple more minutes, you guys. Let's see here. It's kind of moving pretty quickly. How did I meet Chris's sister? Well, my brother ended up marrying Chris Weidman's sister. I met Chris with his first fight with Anderson Silva, and he ended up knocking him out. He actually brought me up for every one of his camps. Even though I'm 170, I'm fairly fast and fairly hard to take down. Chris, I like to say that, but Chris he takes me down every freaking time. He's a beast. But I didn't even know he had a sister. I ended up bringing my brother Tony to New York to spend a weekend with me and Chris. He's like, yeah, bring him on. And that's when we first met Colleen, Chris's sister, and her and my brother hit it off right off the bat. She ended up moving to South Carolina. She had a job there as a nurse. They ended up getting married. Now there's a baby on the way, so that them Thompson, Weidman genes going to be happening. It's going to be a boy, by the way. It's going to be a monster. Who did I sound like just then? Monster. Like London, Australian.
That was London.
London? Was that London? Okay. What is most important, your status, the money, or health? Obviously health, man. We're always thinking about that in the fight game. The money's just a bonus to me. Like I said, I don't have to fight, but the money is a bonus. I like to compete, but health is definitely more important, I believe, just because, after my fight career, I want to be able to, hold a conversation with somebody, which is why we take all the precautions in the gym. And a lot of these guys, if you ever talk to them, lose their chin, not in the octagon, but in the training room, in the gym, where a lot of guys, man, I know some gyms where they go out there wearing MMA gloves, beating the crap out of each other, literally knocking each other out. And that's just stupid To be honest with you, it's ridiculous. So I'll pad up. I wear 18-ounce gloves, headgear, knee pads, elbow pads, shin pads, and we always keep it light to the head. I mean, we grind. We put each other through that grind. We work hard, and we push each other, and we work the body really hard, man. And you can condition the body. You cannot condition the brain. So we're always thinking about that. You get knocked down in a training session, you're not sparring. You're not going to be sparring for a while until Coach Thompson, Mr. T, my pops, tells you otherwise. Couple more questions, you guys. What did I think of Rory MacDonald's style of fighting? I thought it was he's tough, man. Rory was the hardest guy, I think, to prepare for, just because he's good everywhere. He's crafty on the ground. He's got good wrestling. He ended up taking Darren down when they ended up fighting. He's got good striking. He was tough, man. I like his style, to be honest with you. He's very good. He's smart. He's very intelligent. He's kind of like the Piccolo of the group. I don't know if you guys ever watched Dragon Ball Z, but he's a very intelligent fighter. He's like the Piccolo of the UFC. Very intelligent, very hard guy. I love Rory. He's always been a good friend of mine. Few more questions. Let's see. Let's see. They're all coming pretty quick. Give us one dab. There you go. There's one. What changes have I made after the Woodley fight? Well, obviously the first fight, Woodley was a little bit more aggressive than he was the second fight. I felt that in the second fight, since he took me down in the first round, that he was going to be more aggressive. So I was waiting for that pretty much the whole time, which I shouldn't have. But what I learned the most is to go out there and just let everything go. Stop waiting. And I was very hesitant. I wanted to get him to come at me, and all he would do was back up. So I throw a lot of feints. But whenever he did blitz in, I try to hit him with a check hook. I should have followed up with more, using my kicks more, and I didn't. So what I learned most about was just go out there and do what I know I can do. You know what I mean? One more question. How did I get my nickname, the Wonder Boy? Christopher, nice question. Had my first fight when I was 15 years old, and my dad threw me to the dogs on that one because I was 15, I was 0-0, and I fought a guy who was 26 years old, and he was like 20-0 or something like that. He was like 20-0. So I guess it was kind of his way of showing me that I was better than what I thought I was, because at the time I was helping my sister get ready for all of her fights, and I was getting beat up by this girl, my sister, every day, so I thought I sucked. But I ended up beating the brakes off the guy. And after the fight, the commentator asked my opponent, "Hey, man, what'd you feel about Stephen Thompson?" And he said, "I wondered why I stepped in the ring with this boy." And the announcer called me Wonder Boy. Stuck with me ever since. 34 years old. They're still calling me Wonder Boy. Everybody keeps asking when I want to change it to Wonder Man. And I don't know. As long as I'm walking out to Tenacious D, I want to be Wonder Boy. Anyway, thanks, guys. Everybody in Asia, I appreciate you guys coming out, hanging out with me today. We'll talk soon.